The power of burning desire. Turn obsession into destiny. There is a fire that lives inside every human heart, a spark that whispers of possibility, a light that trembles under fear, distraction, and doubt. Most people ignore it. They call it ambition, dream, or hope, but without fuel, it flickers and dies. What separates those who leave legacies from those who live unnoticed is the decision to feed that spark until it becomes a blaze, to cultivate a burning desire so fierce that the world cannot resist its gravity. Burning desire is more than motivation. It is obsession, conviction, and purpose fused into a force that bends reality. Napoleon Hill observed that every great achievement begins with desire that is relentless, focused, and unwavering. He studied the men who changed industries, nations, and history. Men like Edison, Carnegie, Ford, Lincoln, and Disney, and he noticed a pattern. The ones who succeeded did not dabble. They did not hope casually. They did not wait for permission or timing. They became obsessed with a vision, a goal, a mission. Their desire consumed distractions, silenced doubts, and demanded results. Without that intensity, talent and opportunity can easily slip into insignificance. Desire is born in clarity. You cannot become consumed by what you do not see. Weak minds are vague. They wish for vague outcomes. Strong minds define their target with precision. Edison did not wish to invent something useful. He envisioned a practical, sustainable, world-changing electric light. Lincoln did not aspire to lead people. He envisioned a united nation, indivisible, standing against the storms of civil war. The fire of obsession ignites only when the goal is crystal clear, when every cell of the body, every neuron of the mind, is aligned toward a singular purpose. Belief is the fuel of this fire. Desire alone flickers and dies when resistance comes. The world resists everyone at some point. Failure mocks you, delay taunts you, critics jeer from the sidelines. Desire that is not backed by unshakable belief evaporates under pressure. But when belief is absolute, when doubt cannot infiltrate, when fear is acknowledged and conquered, the fire turns from a candle into a furnace. Belief converts frustration into energy. It transforms criticism into insight. It ensures that every setback becomes a stepping stone, every obstacle a crucible for growth. Obsession is not reckless. It is disciplined. It channels energy, attention, and action with surgical precision. Weak ambition is scattered. It chases trends, appeases opinions, and flinches at the first sign of discomfort. True burning desire hones itself like a sword. It prioritizes relentlessly. It sacrifices what is unnecessary. It protects its time, its energy, its mind, because every moment not invested in the goal is a moment the fire weakens. Disney did not build magic by distraction. Ford did not revolutionize transportation through convenience. Carnegie did not construct empires by compromise. Obsession demands focus. Discipline ensures the flame does not sputter. Vision expands desire beyond the present. It allows obsession to endure suffering. Burning desire without vision becomes impatient, restless, and shallow. The man who dreams of wealth alone may quit at the first financial loss. The man who envisions impact, innovation, and legacy continues while the world sleeps, while critics laugh, while every obstacle grows into a mountain. Vision creates meaning. It stretches your timeline. It turns temporary hardship into training. Every experiment, every effort, every sleepless night becomes fuel for something monumental. Purpose gives obsession weight. Desire without purpose is indulgence. Obsession without meaning becomes a cycle of futile activity. Purpose ensures that every action is aligned, every decision intentional, every failure educational. Lincoln endured personal tragedy and national collapse because his purpose was anchored in principles greater than comfort. Edison endured thousands of failures because his purpose demanded a light that could illuminate civilization. Purpose transforms intensity into impact. It gives fire direction, sustenance, and longevity. Action transforms obsession into results. Desire alone is mental. Burning desire demands movement. The strongest dreams collapse under inaction. The most passionate vision dissolves in hesitation. Obsession without execution is vanity. Edison tested relentlessly. Ford experimented and iterated. Disney built worlds in meticulous detail. Obsession becomes reality only when paired with persistent, disciplined, deliberate action. The fire consumes doubt, fuels work, and eventually forces the world to respond. Gratitude sustains obsession over time. A burning desire can consume a person entirely if it is left unchecked. Gratitude keeps the mind grounded. It transforms suffering into opportunity. It converts isolation into learning. It honors the struggle itself as proof of growth. The successful recognize that every long hour, every failure, every ignored comfort is a gift, the raw material from which destiny is forged. Adaptability allows desire to survive the storms of reality. The path to any monumental goal is never straight. Obstacles, changes, and betrayals are inevitable. Obsession that is rigid breaks under pressure. Obsession that is adaptable learns, adjusts, and evolves. Edison tried thousands of filament designs. Disney reworked entire stories. Lincoln adjusted strategies while holding principles constant. Flexibility ensures that the fire never extinguishes, even when the winds of adversity howl. Resilience is the crown jewel of burning desire. It is born in the relentless continuation of effort despite failure, fatigue, and frustration. The world may doubt, circumstances may resist, critics may mock, but desire that has been honed into obsession does not retreat. Resilience allows you to turn setback into insight, loss into leverage, and delay into preparation. It ensures that fire becomes light, light becomes warmth, and warmth becomes the power to transform reality itself. And here is the truth few dare to acknowledge. The world bends to those who are consumed by their own internal flame. Wealth, influence, impact, mastery, these are not given. They are reflected back by the world when it meets someone who refuses to relent, who refuses to compromise, who refuses to settle. The fire within becomes inevitable. Obstacles melt. Resistance fades. Opportunity arrives. Recognition follows. And destiny is claimed, not as a favor, but as a consequence of relentless, burning, disciplined desire. Because obsession is not a choice. It is a covenant with yourself. It is a refusal to live a half-formed life, a refusal to let potential remain dormant. It is the force that transforms vision into reality, thought into action, and hope into legacy. It burns through fear, consumes excuses, and ignites achievement. Everything you want, wealth, freedom, mastery, purpose, is on the other side of the fire you choose to feed. Feed it. Protect it. Obsess over it. Let it consume you. And in the inevitability of that fire, the world will have no choice but to witness the destiny you were born to create. Obsession sharpens the mind like a blade forged in fire. Every thought, every decision, every micro-action is aligned with a single, uncompromising purpose. Carnegie did not amass wealth by accident. He accumulated power through years of focused, relentless mental rehearsal, internal negotiation, and personal refinement. Edison did not stumble into brilliance. He tested, failed, recalibrated, and persisted with an almost fanatical single-mindedness. Desire, when disciplined and sharpened into obsession, transforms ordinary humans into extraordinary architects of reality. Yet desire alone is not enough. The mind must be trained to see possibilities where others see impossibility. It must learn to turn setbacks into strategies and criticism into calibration. Every challenge is a mirror, reflecting not the world's hostility but your own readiness. When Disney faced repeated rejections for his cartoon projects, he did not argue with the world. He refined his craft, studied his audience, and immersed himself in relentless improvement until his creations could not be denied. The fire of obsession thrives in adversity, because pressure is the forge that strengthens resolve. Clarity and obsession are inseparable. The mind cannot burn if it does not know what it is burning for. Vision without clarity is wasted motion. Desire without precision is a candle flickering in the wind. Those who succeed when no one else believes have defined, in uncompromising detail, what they intend to achieve, how they intend to achieve it, and why it matters. Lincoln could not have led a fractured nation without first clarifying the values, principles, and ultimate purpose he would protect at all costs. He turned moral clarity into legislative strategy into political influence, and influence into historic impact. But obsession is not chaos. It is disciplined energy. It does not scatter in every direction. It concentrates like a laser beam. Weak minds allow distraction to fragment their attention. The successful create mental fortresses where only what matters is allowed entry. Carnegie read, studied, observed, and refined while the world around him chased gossip and instant gratification. Edison experimented tirelessly while peers sought shortcuts and instant recognition. Disney worked long nights, constructing worlds in the quiet hours when no one applauded. Discipline is the channel through which burning desire becomes unstoppable. Every obsession must be married to action. Thoughts and dreams are worthless without implementation. Ford did not revolutionize industry through ideas alone. He acted, refined, and persisted. Edison did not create the electric light with inspiration alone. He executed thousands of iterations with methodical, unwavering consistency. Burning desire is the internal flame, but action is the spark that makes it visible to the world. You may think, hope, and imagine, but until effort is consistent, deliberate, and fearless, destiny remains unrealized. Gratitude fuels this fire over the long haul. Every failure, every obstacle, every lonely hour of effort is a gift if seen through the lens of growth. Gratitude transforms struggle into nourishment. It prevents obsession from becoming bitterness or exhaustion. Hill studied countless self-made men who endured extreme adversity. They survived not because the world was kind, but because they could extract lessons, energy, and insight from every moment of resistance. Gratitude is the quiet fuel that keeps the engine of obsession running, even when progress seems invisible. Adaptability ensures obsession does not harden into rigidity. Edison could have abandoned the incandescent bulb after 100 failures, but he learned, adapted, and refined his methods. Lincoln modified strategies in the face of political upheaval and civil war without surrendering his core principles. Disney altered storylines, production techniques, and business approaches when the market demanded innovation. Obsession without adaptability becomes brittle. It must flex, evolve, and learn while remaining anchored to its core purpose. Resilience emerges naturally from this union of desire, discipline, and adaptability. Failure is no longer an enemy. It becomes a teacher. Rejection is no longer discouraging. It becomes feedback. The mind trained by obsession and sharpened by discipline begins to endure hardship with anticipation, not fear. It seeks the lesson, the growth, the insight hidden within every setback. Resilience is the armor of those who refuse to quit. It transforms ordinary human beings into extraordinary architects of destiny. And here is the inescapable truth. The world bends to those who are consumed by their own internal fire. Recognition, opportunity, wealth, influence, these are not gifts. They are consequences. They are the natural outcome when internal obsession has been exercised, refined, and executed daily. When you feed your fire, refine your craft, act relentlessly, and adjust without compromise, the world eventually yields. Doors appear. Barriers crumble. Chance becomes inevitability. The universe conspires, not out of mercy, but because the force of your internal energy demands response. Burning desire is not a whim. It is a covenant with yourself. It demands sacrifice, discipline, focus, and endurance. It requires nights of labor without applause, mornings of thought without validation, and years of refinement without external acknowledgement. But in return, it gives power, influence, mastery, and fulfillment that the uncommitted can never imagine. Those who claim extraordinary lives are not more talented, they are more obsessed. They feed their fires when others sleep. They study when others distract. They endure when others quit. The gateway to destiny exists in this invisible work. Every great achievement begins in private, inside a mind unwilling to compromise, inside a heart unwilling to surrender. When others chase comfort, you chase excellence. When others chase validation, you chase mastery. When others chase fleeting rewards, you chase the long-term impact that turns your dreams into legacy. The fire that burns in secret cannot be ignored in public. And so, you must ask yourself, will you allow desire to flicker, weak and uncertain, like a candle in the wind? Or will you feed it relentlessly until it consumes doubt, fear, and hesitation? Will you endure discomfort, embrace discipline, and act with obsession until the life you dream of becomes unavoidable? Destiny is not given, it is claimed. It is earned by those willing to ignite the fire and refuse to let it die, no matter what stands in their path. Because here is the undeniable law: obsession becomes action, action becomes momentum, momentum becomes results, and results become destiny. Everything you desire, wealth, mastery, freedom, purpose, impact, exists on the other side of the fire you are willing to feed. Choose to feed it. Choose to guard it. Choose to let it consume you until your life is no longer optional, until the world can no longer ignore the inevitability of your success. Desire alone is not enough. Obsession alone is not enough. Action alone is not enough. The human mind is capable of magnificent things, but without relentless focus, without discipline that refuses distraction, without belief that refuses compromise, potential is wasted. Every great man, every woman who has left a mark on history, has understood this truth. The world will only bend for those who burn from within. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose, but we modern seekers know it as obsession, as fire, as the refusal to settle for mediocrity. When you wake in the silent hours, when the world is still asleep, where is your mind? What consumes your attention? The weak are filled with idle thoughts, regret, worry, and distraction. The strong are consumed with vision. They rehearse strategies, refine ideas, imagine outcomes, and measure every choice against the destiny they intend to claim. Ford's factory floors, Lincoln's study, Edison's laboratory, these were not moments of luck. They were hours of unseen obsession, hours where every thought was aligned with purpose, where every action, even the smallest, was executed with precision. This is the battlefield where futures are won or lost, long before the world sees a single triumph. Your mind is your arsenal, your thoughts the ammunition, your discipline the trigger that turns intention into results. Weak minds flinch when fear whispers. Strong minds respond with action, while fear watches silently, powerless. Disney drew entire worlds in isolation, understanding that reality rewards not the loudest, but the most prepared. Carnegie read hundreds of books and met thousands of people, curating knowledge, connections, and strategies no one else noticed, until one day that preparation manifested as unstoppable influence. Obsession is invisible. Its rewards are only seen when your fire produces results so undeniable that the world has no choice but to acknowledge it. Clarity and obsession are twin engines. Without clarity, the mind scatters like sparks in the wind. Without obsession, the fire dies before it ignites the world. A man who dreams of success but cannot define it precisely will never achieve it. Edison did not merely wish to invent. He defined the exact form, function, and purpose of his creation. Lincoln did not vaguely hope for peace. He knew exactly what a united nation looked like, what values must survive, and what sacrifices must be endured. Obsession cannot exist without clarity. The fire cannot burn if it does not know what it is consuming. Belief is the oxygen that sustains this fire. The world will resist. Critics will laugh. Failure will mock. Without belief, desire falters, vision blurs, and obsession dissolves into frustration. But belief, absolute and unshakable, transforms adversity into fuel. It converts obstacles into lessons, losses into leverage, and doubt into determination. Those who succeed when no one else believes are not lucky. They are steady, focused, unyielding. They see what the world cannot yet see, and they act as if it is already real. Discipline channels the fire. Without discipline, obsession is chaotic. Without structure, desire becomes exhausting, unsustainable, and scattered. Ford did not revolutionize transportation by chance. He created factories, systems, and standards that disciplined every step of progress. Edison did not illuminate the world by inspiration alone. He repeated experiment after experiment, creating a rhythm of effort that turned trial into triumph. Disney did not create magic overnight. He built, revised, improved, and endured in methodical pursuit of a vision no one else believed possible. Discipline ensures that obsession becomes unstoppable. Action is where the invisible becomes visible. Ideas remain shadows until executed. Dreams remain fantasies until effort makes them tangible. Obsession without action is vanity. Desire without discipline is fleeting. Every great life is a record of small, relentless, deliberate acts executed day after day. Lincoln studied law, politics, and strategy while working odd jobs. Edison recorded thousands of failed experiments. Carnegie built connections, systems, and knowledge in quiet preparation. Each invisible action is a brick in the structure of inevitability. Gratitude sustains the fire through long battles. The path of obsession is lonely, filled with struggle, setbacks, and exhaustion. Gratitude allows the mind to recognize progress even when the world does not. It transforms hardship into opportunity, fatigue into focus, and delay into preparation. The successful understand that every trial is a teacher, every sacrifice an investment, every hour of unseen work a deposit into the bank of destiny. Without gratitude, obsession becomes burden. With gratitude, it becomes joy, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Adaptability ensures the fire survives storms. The world is unpredictable. Plans fail. Methods falter. Obstacles emerge without warning. Edison altered filaments thousands of times. Lincoln modified military strategies constantly. Disney adjusted production, narrative, and business strategy when circumstances demanded. Obsession must bend without breaking, adapt without abandoning its core, evolve without losing direction. The flame must be flexible to endure, yet fierce enough to burn everything in its path. Resilience is forged in this union of desire, clarity, discipline, belief, and adaptability. Weak minds crumble under adversity. Strong minds endure, persist, and continue. Every setback becomes feedback, every criticism a lesson, every failure a teacher. The world may resist, ridicule, or delay your success, but the mind disciplined by obsession recognizes that resistance is part of the path, a natural refinement of what will one day become inevitable. Resilience ensures that the fire never dies, that momentum never halts, and that destiny cannot be denied. And here lies the final truth. The world does not create greatness, it reflects it. Wealth, mastery, influence, freedom, purpose, they are consequences, echoes of internal power. You do not wait for opportunity, you create it. You do not wait for recognition. You earn it through invisible, relentless effort. You do not wait for permission. You build momentum that forces acknowledgement. The mind that burns with obsession, that acts with discipline, that adapts with resilience, becomes unstoppable. The universe itself bends to the force of concentrated, relentless desire. This is the covenant. Obsession demands sacrifice. It demands courage. It demands unwavering focus. It demands that you endure nights of doubt, days of toil, and years of unrecognized labor. But it also guarantees inevitability. Everything you want, everything the world says is impossible, is on the other side of the fire you choose to feed. It cannot be earned through luck, charisma, or waiting. It is earned through relentless thought, disciplined action, and unyielding belief. Feed the fire. Protect it. Refine it. Let it consume you until it transforms your mind, your habits, and your life. Let obsession sharpen your focus, discipline your energy, and align every step you take with the destiny you are meant to claim. Everything you desire, wealth, mastery, purpose, influence, will rise before you, because nothing can withstand the force of a mind, a heart, and a life fully devoted to burning desire. When the world finally sees you, it will not see struggle. It will not see effort. It will see inevitability. Edison did not illuminate the world by chance. Lincoln did not unite a nation by luck. Disney did not create magic by accident. Carnegie did not become a titan by compromise. All of them began with fire, internal, invisible, unrelenting fire. And so must you. Your destiny is not waiting. It is being forged now, in every thought you entertain, every choice you make, every hour you invest, every moment you refuse to quit. Obsession is the gateway. Discipline is the bridge. Action is the spark. And the life you have dreamed of, the influence you have imagined, the legacy you have envisioned, it is waiting on the other side. Burn, refine, act, endure. Let your desire become obsession. Let your obsession become unstoppable momentum. Let your momentum become results that cannot be denied. And in the inevitability of that fire, you will finally understand what Napoleon Hill knew all along. Everything you want in life begins here, in the unyielding, unshakable, burning desire that refuses to die.